Hello folks, welcome to the final session of Module 3 in Python Foundations. So you have learned how to use list, tuples, sets, dictionaries, slicing and comprehension. Today we'll apply all of that in real world use cases and finally build a student record system as your assignment project. Now let's see how will you use a dictionary plus. Let's quickly revise all the different core concepts and we'll go to the assignment. Now first let's start with how to add the student grades. Right, so here the grades is equal to, I'm creating a dictionary. RF is 85, Divya, right, 78, Meera, right, 92, right. So I'm going to use dictionaries to associate names with marks, right. So for the second one, now let's see the attendance tracker. Now in this attendance tracker, I'm going to say present today. So overall present today, RF, Meera and let's add Sanjay, right? So now I want to check whether Divya is present today or not. For that, print Divya in present today, right? So Divya in present today is false. So Divya is absent for this day, right? So this is a very quick attendance tracker that can be created. Now course registrations. For this, let's use a list of tuples. So how will I create that? So registrations is equal to, in square bracket, open RF, comma AI, right? So comma Divya, comma ML, and then let's open another round bracket and let's say Meera, comma DS. So these are the registrations. So RF has registered for AA course, Divya has registered for ML course, Meera has registered for DS course, right? So tuples are used for fixed pairs, right? So nobody has to go and change RF has registered for ML. No, RF has registered for AA only, right? So this is the course registration, right? How and list of tuples is used here. Now let's say structured data tables, a list of how a list of dictionaries can be created. So the students is the variable name, and then square bracket, so open ID. So what is the ID? ID 1, comma name is RF, comma marks is 85, and again ID, right? So let us copy paste. So ID is 2, so the name is Divya, and let's change the marks 90, right? So again ID, I'm going to give 3, name is Meera, comma marks 78, right? So there's the student. So there's the list of dictionaries. This is a structured data table. So we have used list of dictionaries to simulate a table, right? So now I can go and retrieve, right? So all this key and values present. Now let's create quiz analytics. So what are the marks that the students has got? Marks is 85, 62, 70, 95, 40. So for M in marks, if the M has scored greater than equal to 60 for M, right? So I want to store that as passed, right? So now let's print passed. So all the scores, right? So for M in marks, right? So I'm going to run an iteration. If at all that marks is greater than equal to 60, then M is stored into past, right? So therefore 85, 62, 70, 95. So this is some quick, quiz analytics can be done using a list comprehension. Now how will I slice through the reports? Slicing through reports, right? So now let's take marks colon 3, right? So the top 3. Now let's print top 3, right? So out of this, I've taken the top 3 marks. It's okay. This is not top 3, first 3. So in other words, these are not sorted. Okay, I'm just taking on basis of the index. So 85, 62, 70 is taken. colon 3. Now using all this things that we have learned, I want you to create a quick assignment out of this. So what is this assignment all about? So assignment, build a student record system. So what is the objective here? Right? So what is the objective? We have to start adding the students, update the marks, list the students, search by name and display average and top marks. So add the students, update the marks, list students, search by name, remove student and display average and the top mark, right? So what is the student name? How will you do it? Let's have a simple example and later on you can expand this. First, let's create a student record plan. So what is the student record plan? Now here I'm going to say each student is a dictionary, right? So let's create a student is equal to, in a dictionary, I'm going to pass name as Arab, comma, roll number 101 and the marks as 88. Now I'm going to create an empty list, records is equal to empty list. Now let's create, add a student. Now how will I add a student here? Right, so let's add input, enter name, right? So I'll take it as a title. Name is equal to enter name, right? So I'm giving it as Sarvesh. Now I'm going to take the roll number. Roll is equal to int of input of enter roll number and marks is equal to int of input of enter marks, right? Now what is the roll number? 101. Marks is 85. Now the student is equal to, I'm going to put it in a dictionary, name is name, comma, roll is roll, comma, the marks is marks. Now I'm going to append records dot append the student, right? Now let's print records, right? So what do I have here? So I've entered Sarvesh, I've given title, right? So S has become capital. Roll number is 101. Marks attained is 85. I've collected all in a dictionary, right? So the name and the empty list, whatever that I've created, right? So I have pushed it here inside this records, right? So for each and every student here is a dictionary. Now if I want to look at all the students, view all students. How will I view all the students? Let's run it in a loop. For yes in records print yes and run this, right? Sarvesh 101 and 85. Now in this template, how will we search by name? Search by name, right? So search is equal to input of enter name to search, right? So dot title, right? So then I'm going to give found is equal to for yes in records if yes of name is equal to is in search, right? So then I'm going to put in comprehension yes is the output that I want, right? So if found, print found 0, else print student not found. So what is the student that I want to search? Search for Sarvesh, right? So it has found, right? Now let's search for some other name, Kiran, right? The student is not found, right? So how will I search for name? If at all that name is found in the search, whatever that I've taken, take that input and say the student found and respond it back, right? Sarvesh, I'm converting it to the title and you can say the name, roll and marks, whatever is there in the dictionary, we have just retrieved it. Now let's remove student by roll. How will I remove the student by roll? So roll to remove is equal to int of input of enter roll number to remove, right? So now let's take the records for yes in records if yes roll is not equal to roll to remove, right? So then put yes here, right? So this is the records. Enter the roll number to remove. So the roll number is 102. Remove it. That's it. Now let's, if I have to print the records, right? So nothing is present, right? So nothing is present here. Now let's push again Sarvesh and 101 and marks, let's say 93, and I've appended, right? Now coming down here, now what other templates that we can create? We can look for the top scorer and we can keep on adding, right? So let's add one more thing and then just drop it. So how to add an additional menu? How to add menu? So while true, so I'm going to print what does the end user want, whether add or view or search or remove or average or top or exit, right? So what is the choice? Choice is equal to input of enter choice. So what is the choice, right? So if the choice is equal to 1, so what do we want to do, right? So print added success, right? So you can add the logic. I'm making it open. Add your logic here. So else what can I make? So if the choice is equal to 7, I'm going to break it, right? So okay, so this is supposed to be lift, right? So yeah, print, right? So if I run it, then it's going to not throw it properly. So now I want to create a menu like this for you, right? So I want you guys to create a menu, whether you want to add a student name or view a student name, search, remove, average, top, exit, with all the logics that I've given up. I want you to create a while loop where you can add all this logic here, right? So this is the challenge for you, right? So I want you to create, right? So I want you to create for the students Arav, Meera, Divya, Sanjay and Riya, right? So I want you to use dictionary, list and comprehension, and submit the screenshot, or you can submit the file, right? So this is the challenge. This is a very good way of learning, right? So now you know how to apply the data structures in real world scenarios. You build your first working console app using Python basics. So in the next module, we'll take this further by learning functions, reusability and modular programming.